Hi, I'm Lisa. Welcome to my glass studio. I am so excited about sharing this next project with you. I'm calling it Splash of Color. I had these gray and white pieces on my table for months and I wasn't sure what to do with them. And so the other day I came up with the idea of, I've done a bunch of stuff with stencils lately. I thought, you know what, that's really kind of what I want to do on these, was a stencil, but I approached it differently. Instead of putting the same stencil on all 4 projects, I did one stencil on the 4 of them, making a single design that works together. So there are 4 complementary pieces that have a different design on each tile, but together they make one design, and it turned out beautiful. I used 3 different shades of powder frit, and I created a gradient. I'm going to show you how to do that in this video, so I'm really looking forward to sharing this with you. We're going to make a set of complementary little dishes. So I've got these white pieces of glass. These are going to be mounted on top of a piece of another color, so it gives them a little punch. And we're going to do a little design on here with a stencil. And usually I do the same stencil 4 times, or I do different versions of the same stencil. Today, what we're going to do is put these 4 pieces together, and we're going to use one store-bought stencil like this to create a design that moves from tile to tile. So when they're together, they create one design. When they're separate, they're individual designs. I think it sounds pretty cool. You can see my stencil is a little, it's been in the drawer, so it's kind of hanging out. It's not sitting flat. So what I want to do is put some glass or something on it so it sits flat. There, that'll work. I need to weight it down, because if the stencil does not have good contact with the glass, my lines will be fuzzy. And I'm not a fan of fuzzy lines. So, there we go. Now here, the glass ends here, so this is not really interfering, and the glass ends here, so that's not interfering. The reason I positioned it this way was I wanted to have both of these flowers in the design. And the stencil is like exactly the size of my glass left to right, so we're good there. All right, so I've picked a cobalt blue, a pretty fern green, these are powder, and a pink. It doesn't look pink. I hope it turns pink. It says it turns pink, so we'll see. All right, I've got 2 stencils here, 2 sifters here. I'm going to put on my dust mask to work safely, of course. And then I'll pull out a spoon and a paintbrush, a second paintbrush when I figure out where it went. Okay. Don't know. Oh, here we go. Okay, second paintbrush first in case we need some cleanup. So what I want to do is have a gradient of colors. I'm going to start with the pink. I'm going to use the bigger sifter. Put a nice even coating on the bottom. I'm going to tap it right over this flower. I want that flower to have nice strong color. I'm going to tap it over this flower. Sift a little bit, shake it a little bit, get nice strong color. And then maybe I'll put a little pink over here, so we have some pink in that tile. And I'm going to put a little pink right here on this one, so we have some pink on that tile. So I've got some of that pink on all 4 pieces. A little extra there, make sure we got good color, good color there. I'll pour this back in the jar. Uh-oh, got a little piece of the sifter in our design. Take that up. Let's go ahead and put a little more frit on there. These sifters are, well, how do I say this? They're old, but they're still working great, just like the rest of us, right? All right, let's take some blue. And now I'm going to have some fun. Now the blue is easier to see because it's a nice strong color. Make sure we have a little bit of blue in all of the 4 pieces. There we go. And what I'm trying to achieve here is a gradient of color. The blue and then the green. Now let's add some green to the sifter. And let's use the green. Kind of bring it and bridge it off with the blue. Or here we need some for sure. Over here where the blue is light. Over here we're going to mix it to have the blue and the green together. I love that.
sifting over here, trying to get nice strong coverage. I love it when the colors overlap and we get a gradient. Now the sifters, works better with less humidity, which we currently have less humidity, which is great. All right, so I feel like that's pretty good. I'll put a little green on top of the blue there, over here. Again, trying to create some gradients. Now I'm going to go back. I'm going to take the smaller sifter and do a little more blue. I've got a lot of green, like right here. This one has a lot of green. Just put a little blue there, a little blue here. Let's make sure we got some good blue here. And some good color, a little blue there, a little bit there. All right, I'm pretty pleased with that. All right, now the tricky part. Okay, go ahead and move these out of the way. Okay, we're going to remove this glass very carefully. Then we're going to try to lift the stencil straight up so we don't disturb the design. Oh, we have nice crisp detail. Oh my gosh, I can't get my fingernail into there. There we go. Ooh, isn't that fun? Now I'm really hoping that this color here and here shows better in the finished piece. But the blue and green show beautifully, right? So maybe we just have very subtle flowers. All right, I have these pieces of like this solid gray already cut. And we're going to basically put one of each of these on there. And I've got a little overflow right here, so I'm going to go ahead and wipe that off. There we go. This is going to make a lovely set. Now you could use these for coasters if you wanted to. You could use them for little candle holders, little candle shelters. You could use them for spoon rests. You could use them, any number of things. And, you of course could customize these. Say you had someone who's a sports fan. You could do their sport logo on here. Say you have someone who's loves to fish. You could put fishing hooks or fish on here. You could do, if someone who likes to cook, you could do herbs. So any number of different designs you could do here. So I'm really pleased with the way this came out. It's kind of fun. And then when you put them all together, there's a little bit of separation now with that gray, but it's still kind of cool because visually it creates one tile, one large tile. So this is a great way if you have a small kiln to work small, but make something that has a bigger visual presence. So we're going to go ahead and fire this to a full fuse temperature, and then we'll see what we have. Here we have our pretty little colorful tiles. And look how nicely they came out. I love, love, love the colors and the soft gradients. When you use powder material, I always recommend that you try to create gradients with your color because it's your one opportunity to really do that and get a really unique softness that you otherwise can't get with regular cut glass. The gray border is a nice addition to these colors, I think. Got a great background. These are going to be awesome. So I've decided we're going to slump these and do this set. And these are little 4-inch square dish molds. And I really am pleased with the way, when these are closer, you can really see that the pattern ties together. And I think that's really pretty. I haven't really, done that before. And I think it makes for a really nice set because each of the pieces are individual and independent of each other, but they complement each other, creating a nice collection that I think would be lovely in any number of situations. You could use them for coasters, spoon rests, candle rests, just little dishes, accent dishes on a counter somewhere. So I'm really excited about slumping these and adding that dimension, that form that makes them that much more special. So we're going to take these to the slumping temperature and then we'll open this up and find out what we have. There we go. Sweet, sleep well, my little darlings. Here we go. Ooh, look how fun these are. Ooh, I love, love, love how the curvature adds such a graceful flair to the artwork. Oftentimes I ask myself, should I slump something or not? And, most of the time I feel like the slump gives the piece of art another dimension that really adds to the gracefulness and the impact that the design has when you display it. So I'm really pleased with the way these came out. And what's even more exciting is that the designs complement each other and that they, when put together, they make a single design, which is a single sort of visual that's really exciting. So we did a full fuse and then a slump on these. Fun stuff.
Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed learning how to make these tiles. These things have a lot of different possibilities for uses. I would probably use them in my kitchen as spoon rests. I think they're great for that. You can put one by the coffee maker for the spoon there. Put one in the cocktail area for your mixing, your little stir, your little drink stir. You could put them in the restroom to hold soap. You could do, just put them out on a coffee table, use them for coasters. Any number of things. You could just put them out just to be decorative and have something beautiful sitting on your table. So I've got this gray glass on the bottom, white on top. And I recommend the white because any color frit you use will show up really beautifully. Also, I'm using high contrast colors that are opaque. They show up best and give you the highest concentration of color and the most impact for the material you're using. So I hope you really enjoyed learning how to make these. I hope you make some for yourself. Remember, you can change the design. You can do something sport related for a sport fan. You could do something food related for a foodie. You could do something dinosaur related for a kid. Maybe you're not going to put it in the kid's room. Maybe you're not going to put it, where they can handle it, but something they could enjoy just the same. So keep in mind, these are very flexible. A lot of potential ideas here for gifts, for just fun for yourself. My daughter has already claimed these as her own, and that's rare. Nikki said, I'll take those home. And a lot of times Nikki says, oh, that's pretty, oh, that's pretty, oh, that's pretty. When she comes and says, I love those, I want them, then you know they're really special. So again, thanks for joining me. Thanks for subscribing, liking, following, commenting, sharing. We appreciate all of that, and we really thank you for that. Also, become a premium video member. We'd love to have you. We have 40, did you hear that? 40, did you hear that one more time? 40 courses and pattern ebooks out right now. You sign up for a premium video membership, you immediately get access to all of that content right away. Lots of great projects, step-by-step instruction, custom firing guides, everything you need to complete those projects. So become a member today. We'd love to have you. Until next time, get out there in your studio and get creative, and happy fusing.